Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. I want to thank you so much for joining this Yoga for Dancers session. It's truly an honor and a privilege to have been guiding these, so thank you for following along. Today's class I want to focus on two things. Of course, these yoga sessions are tailored to dancers, but they're open to any practitioner and lover of yoga. And my two collective intentions, the first is to explore what it means to move from a place of joy. Now, I don't want to restrict us to only say that during today's session we can move only from a place of joy. That's not the case, because oftentimes we might come to the mat and we have another emotion present in our hearts and in our minds. So I don't want to limit us, but I do want to invite us to find pockets of joy throughout this practice, because no matter how we arrive to this mat, the reason I call myself the joy flow dimensions is because I feel that in those states of flow, in that flow state, is when we can access joy in its purest form. And so maybe throughout a Warrior Two or in a flow that we're creating, co-creating together, we can explore what it feels like for our cells, for our organs, our muscles, and our bones to align with that sense of joy. So that's a little journaling prompt, exploration for today. That's the first. And then the second concept and collective intention I'm inviting for us today is this idea that as a dancer, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, professional, pre-professional, that oftentimes there can come a point in our career where we feel that skill and confidence are one-to-one linked. You know, it's like if you were to graph it out, that they're correlated, or that one causes the other. And I just want us to give ourselves the opportunity to play with this idea that perhaps there's a moment in your class where you sense, I don't feel confident because I don't have this step 100%. And I just want to allow today's movement to challenge that, and for you to explore how you can use your body to show up, to be present with confidence, no matter what skill you're at. Because confidence is an attribute of assurance of who we are, of how we stand in the world, of our values, of our core values, you know, who we are as people. And that's totally independent from the skill of dancing. So I just want to bring those collective intentions to mind, and we are going to get started. We are going to start today's class lying down on your mat of choice. And notice how you arrive there. Yes, we can start to build our awareness muscle from the very beginning of our time together. Let's start with our knees bent, feet planted in the earth, closing our eyes, centering ourselves, our bodies on the mat. Maybe you close your eyes and turn your gaze inwards, your focus inwards. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Shifting our focus to how our breath affects our bodies. We're going to keep our hands by our hips, on our bellies perhaps, and notice the inhale and notice the exhale. Where is your breath moving and expanding into? And it's natural to feel it mostly on the inhale. But can you envision those hips getting wider as you exhale? And shifting those hands a little higher up if it feels safe to do so, towards the ribs. And again, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Can you notice perhaps a wave-like motion that the breath invites into the body? Can you sense the ribs also expand from side to side? And lastly, let's place those hands, if it feels comfortable to do so, on the chest near the collarbone. And I invite us to allow that breath to move the chest as much as feels good. If you want to exaggerate it, you can, but otherwise, no pressure. Beautiful. And lastly, I want to invite us to sense the movement of the breath in the spine. For a lot of ourselves, our central nervous system that guides our movement is not only coming from the brain, but also the spine. So just invite a sense of ease into the spine as you inhale, and a sense of ease as you exhale. And if you feel ready to do so, we're going to rub those palms together, bringing those thumbs to the forehead or third eye, and you can set a dedication for your practice today, a sankalpa for someone or something that may benefit from the energy we co-create together. Beautiful. Trusting that dedication will come true, we're going to bring those arms to a T, rocking those knees to the right. Gaze and head can go to the left. Just warming up the spine. And then slowly switch, knees to the left, gaze to the right. And then coming back to neutral, Fingertips long by our sides. Walk those feet a little closer in, maybe so you can touch the edges of your heels. And we're going to take a big breath in. And exhale, slowly start to peel vertebrae by vertebrae up into our first bridge. Yes, we're going to feel the hamstrings and glutes working, but more so I want us to focus on developing length across the front part of our body. And then exhale, massage that spine down. 2 more, just like that. Inhale. And exhale, press into the earth. And release down. And 1 more. Can you allow for a sense of length and width across those shoulders? Imagining those feet and toes are long. The feet are like little suction cups on the earth. Maybe you hold one hand in the other. Press a little bit more. We're going to stay here for 3 collective breaths. Inhaling in and exhale. Inhale in and release. And 1 more. Melt all the way down. Beautiful work. We're going to cross that right leg over the left. Gentle figure 4. Interlacing the fingers behind that left leg, rocking side to side. And extending that left leg if you can, reaching towards those toes. Just a gentle, as much as you want to maybe pull, gently pull those toes towards us. Think of that tailbone extending long on the mat. So you feel a stretch behind the left leg, and then we'll gently switch. Figure 4 on the other side. Left leg crosses over the right. Rocking side to side. And extending that right leg up overhead, capturing those toes, maybe feeling a deep stretch along the back right leg. And release all of that down. We're going to take a good morning stretch, reach those feet and those hands out and away. Beautiful, and then hug those knees to the chest, offering ourselves grace for showing up today. And then either holding the shins or the backs of the legs, we're gonna do some rocks up and down the mat. And then when you're ready, we're going to transition to all fours. Let's flip so those fingertips are facing us and rock front and back, stretching the back side of this right palm, and then alternate. So flip those left fingertips to face us. And then let's send fingertips out towards the side of the mat as we take some gentle circles of those hips. To the right and switch to the left. Beautiful. Coming back, spreading those fingers. We're going to move into our cats and cows at your own pace here. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, coming back to those collective intentions. What does it feel like to move from a place of joy And what does it feel like, similarly, to move from a place of confidence the next time you're in cat, we're going to tuck those toes behind us and press so much into the toes, so much into the palms that we lift up, floating tabletop. And we're going to tap those knees so we're taking some kind of hip twist one side to the other for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Neutral here, and then gently extend into our luxurious downward dog, bending that left knee, and switch, bending that right knee. Shake the head no, nod the head yes. We're going to pause here in downward dog for 3 collective breaths, inhaling in and gentle exhale. Inhaling in and a smooth exhale out. One more. Can you magnetically allow those heels to reach further into the earth as you inhale? And exhale, we're gonna roll through our plank, to our plank. So come to those tippy toes. We roll, articulating that spine. We come to a full plank here. And then we're going to hike those hips up, coming back to our downward dog. So we're mobilizing the spine here. Moving at your own pace, rolling through to plank, and then back to downward dog. 3 more. On this last one, we're gonna come all the way through to an upward facing dog. So deep breath in, downward dog. Coming onto those tiptoes, roll all the way through the plank to an upward facing dog. Beautiful. And from here, we're gonna place those knees on the mat. And we're gonna press back, coming into a puppy posture. Maybe you bend those elbows to get a deeper stretch in those triceps. Give yourself maybe a little self-massage along those muscles above your collarbone. And then from here, we're gonna press back briefly into a child's pose, toes together, knees apart. Focusing our intention and attention to the back parts of our ribs. Can we imagine movement of the breath to be 3-dimensional and rounded back there? Beautiful. From here, we're gonna walk right back up to all fours. Big breath in here. Tucking those toes, extending back to our beautiful downward dog. We're going to lift that left leg up, take some ankle circles, that left foot one way and the other way. Then we're gonna bend that knee and allow the weight of the foot to create a stretch along the front side of that left leg here. And we start to draw circles in space with that left knee outwards and inwards. And extend up. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, send that knee to nose. And up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. One more. And now we're gonna send that knee to the left armpit and three-legged dog. Knee to right armpit and send it forward. We're gonna take a lunge, dropping graciously that right knee on the mat. We're gonna come up, lifting our magical ball of beautiful energy up overhead. Sensing the expansion and length in our spines. We're gently gonna open up those arms behind us so our torso is facing towards this front knee. And then capture beautiful energy up overhead and open up to a T. Spreading those front toes last time. Beautiful. If you feel ready, we're gonna tuck those back toes, lift up. We made it to a runner's lunge. We're going to send those arms towards the earth. Maybe you wiggle that back foot to take a deep stretch, straightening this front leg. Releasing the weight of the head. Beautiful. Walking those arms on the inside of this left leg. We're going to take some gentle circles outwards here. Warming up those hips in our lizard lunge and gentle circles inwards. And I want to invite you to explore a balancing posture here. So we're gonna bring our arms into what looks like chaturanga, but we're going to creep this left arm underneath our left leg, and we are going to create a little shelf on top of our elbow, and we'll wiggle that left leg to create a little balancing. You can keep that leg straight or bent. And then come back, chaturanga. And let's take a breath here. Forehead on the mat. Wiggle those hips side to side. And let's capture that right leg. Take a quick and meaningful stretch of those quadricep muscles here. And switch, capturing that left foot. And beautifully done. We're going to press up into our upward facing dog from here. And through the spine with intention, we're gonna roll through, coming to all fours, and then tucking those toes, pressing up, downward dog. Bend that right knee. Shake the head no. Keep shaking the head no as you switch to bend that left knee. Beautiful. Let's take 3 collective breaths, noticing maybe differences in the right and left sides of the body. relaxing the lower jaw, creating space between the upper and lower molars. One more breath. And we're gonna send that right leg up, three-legged dog, taking some ankle circles outwards. And ankle circles inwards. Beautiful, and then we'll extend that leg a little higher, bending that knee, creating a deep stretch alongside the front part of our right leg. And we begin to paint with our knee. You know, maybe it's not a circle. I don't want to limit ourselves to what you're imagining. Maybe your knee is painting and drawing something else. And switch. And then when you're ready, we extend three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. And back, upward facing dog. Sorry, downward dog, three-legged dog is what I'm trying to say. And send that leg up. And knee to nose. One more. And up, three-legged dog. Next, we'll send it to the right armpit. And up, three-legged dog. And send it across to the left. Last time, three-legged dog. And we're gonna come to transition to a lunge. Left knee is planted into the earth. Our right leg is bent. And maybe now we have a different image. For me today, I'm gathering some lilies up overhead. What does that feel like in my body to be holding a beautiful bouquet of flowers? We're gonna inhale. Exhale, rotate towards the side of that front leg, really spiraling up through the spine, and I'm imagining middle finger to other middle finger extending, and we gather those lilies two more times. Maybe the gaze goes towards those back fingers last time. Beautiful. Capturing something up overhead, we're going to tuck the back toes, lifting up into our lunge. We paint those arms down, extend this front leg. Maybe you wiggle the back leg up. So we take a stretch here. Both legs are straight. Even relaxing the tongue, imagining that you can really melt any worry or discomfort from the upper back down and out. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk those hands inside of the right leg. And again, stretching in this deep lizard lunge as we take some gentle circles one way and the other way. And we're going to try this balancing pose on the other side. So maybe now you can see me a little bit better. We're allowing this right arm to go, the middle part of my tricep is allowing for my thigh to rest on top of it. And we are going to come into chaturanga arms. We allow this leg to straighten out. Wherever you're at, we're gonna come to relax down. Wiggle, wiggle those hips. And we're gonna expand on the pose that we did, stretching those quadricep muscles. So when you're ready, we're gonna capture one leg and capture the other leg. And we're gonna come, you guessed it, into a gentle boat pose. So allowing those legs to be what pull the upper body up towards the sky. So take a couple of rocks back in front. And then opening up the chest, the heart space. We're gonna stay here for 3 collective breaths. One more breath. And release everything down. We're going to roll onto our backs. Well deserved. We're going to come back to our bridges. I know now we're facing the other direction. And I want us to sense again, what does it feel like to be moving from a place of joy? What does it feel like to be moving from a place of confidence? And another layer is to notice how we feel from the beginning towards the end of this practice. So inhale in and exhale as you wish. Begin to peel up into our bridge. And just notice, does the quality of touch feel different? Do your feet, the soles of your feet feel different on the mat? And melt down. 2 more. And this last time, I want you to notice your emotions. Notice where your mind and thoughts are. Notice if that's aligned with how your heart feels. If you wish to hold one hand into the other, feel free. And then melt everything down. Give yourself a loving, loving hug. And we're going to straighten out this right leg. Allow the left knee to gently come across the body. We take a spinal twist to wrap up this practice. Gaze can go to the left. If you wish, you can extend this top leg, the left leg. And wherever you are in your journey, it's so beautiful to just be present, for we never get any moment back. That's what makes our time here so precious. And whenever you're ready, we'll switch, lengthening that left leg, bending the right knee across, up and over. And if you wish, extend that top right leg. That for me creates a deeper stretch in actually the sole of my right foot. And coming back to neutral, I invite you to take any posture you feel you need before we come into our Shavasana. I'm going to explore a balancing posture, but there's no need to do a headstand, handstand. If you want to take a plow pose, kicking those legs up and over, feel free. If you want to get into a tripod headstand, I'm actually not going to do the tripod. I'm going to be on my arms here. So I'm going to create like a little basket. You can tell here. And that I'm going to, before I do that, actually I'm going to measure. So as if you were holding elbow to elbow, you place that on the mat, open up those hands into a triangle so those elbows stay right where they are. And then we allow ourselves to walk up. Different ways to get into this. You can send one leg up and then the other. Or you can tuck those knees into the chest. wherever you are, to meet in a child's pose. Slowly, when you're ready, we'll come out of that child's pose into a seated position, palms up if you feel ready to receive, down for a sense of grounding. Maybe you close those eyes, coming back to our inner world, noticing how we feel, noticing what it felt like to move with joy, to move from a place of confidence. And we're going to open those eyes, inhale those arms up overhead, and exhale, as if magnetically we were cleansing everything down and out our midline. And 2 more. Can you